Hi, this is the Peach Professor, and here we're going to teach you how to leverage your glute gains using biomechanics to improve your results and minimize injury. So first thing, what are body levers? For this example, we are looking at your thigh length to your torso length. So simply look at yourself in the mirror and identify which one you are in correspondence to the picture. Do you have a long torso and short legs, a fairly balanced ratio, or short torso and long legs? The reason for this will become apparent soon as we go through this tutorial, and it will be very relevant to the end of the tutorial with something very exciting coming up. So how do these leverages affect lifting and your glute development? Well, it's quite simple. If you've got quite a balanced ratio, you can get the best of both worlds from squats and deadlifts, and they will both recruit your glutes quite well. So you get the best of both worlds and you don't have to stress too much. However, if you have a long torso and shorter legs, you tend to be great at squats. Hence, squats would be a great choice to develop your glutes. But due to your leverage, conventional deadlifts would probably not hit your glutes too well. On the flip side, if you have long femurs, you will struggle tremendously to develop your squats and glutes along with it, as your glutes don't get recruited too well in any form of a squat due to the leverage and physics. But you are quite good at deadlifts, and these will be your go-to choice for glute development. So we've all heard it before, squats are great for the peach. Not necessarily. So as you can see in this picture, the long legs put the hip at a very acute angle. And if the hip is at an acute angle, our glutes go on stretch. And as we've learned previously, a muscle on stretch cannot produce much force. Hence you will recruit more back and hamstrings. The short-legged person on the far right is much more vertical, keeping their hip in the mid-range and allowing their glutes to contribute a lot more to the movement. So these people will get good glute development from squats. So no, squats are not the best option for booty building for everyone. But all is not lost for you long-leggers out there. This is where we can bring in a bit of physics and biomechanics to help improve the peach for you long leggers. To make the squat recruit more glutes if you have long legs, you can simply widen the stance and shorten the lever arm between the barbell and the hip, exactly like the short-legged squatter. But beware, if you have anti-verted hips, i.e. you're more towards a pigeon-toed stance, then your hips physically do not go that wide and you will end up hurting your hips or butt winking, which can lead to hurting your back. But now you can start to see how biomechanics play a role in optimal exercise selection, performance, and injury prevention. So as we move into the deadlift, this is where the long-legged short torso person can tend to come to the forefront for their leverages and have optimal glute recruitment. Because if you have short legs and a long torso, usually the conventional deadlift is a nightmare and is more and back hamstring dominant. So similarly like what the long leggers can do for the squats, the short leggers can do for the deadlift and assume a sumo stance as it gets the hips closer to the bar. But this bears the same warning. If you do not have hips that turn out, then this is not the exercise for you. Glute bridges and hip thrusts. Is this a peach's paradise? Yes, both of these movements, when done well, are great for building the peach, nearly regardless of the leverages of your body. Nearly. So, if you have long legs and a short torso, the glute bridge would have a very small range of motion, which is not ideal for optimal glute recruitment or hypertrophy of your peach. But if you're going simply for the peak contraction, then it will work just fine. However, both the movements are still great for any leverage in building your peak. And another note is, if you have a short torso and long legs and you are doing a hip thrust with your shoulders on the bench, be sure not to go too low, as you will lose your back angle and lose it into extension and potentially invite lower back injury. And of course, as always, the people with a balanced ratio in their levers have the luxury of both worlds. Accessory movements to the peak, on the assumption that we have stable hips, is a very important factor for full all-round peak development. But of course, all bodies are not created equal. Usually you'll find the short-legged, long torso person who can squat well tend to develop great glutes with simply squatting and maybe some RDLs thrown in. And then on top of that, sprinkle a few thrusts and usually, bam, they have a booty. The balanced person is much the same. If they dedicate to some good squats and deadlifts and some thrusts, they tend to require a little bit of accessory work to finish it off, but not much. But then we get to the poor long legger. With their leverages, it makes it difficult to recruit the glutes, especially in the squat, and somewhat even in the deadlift. So they would need to do extra amounts of thrusting and accessory work with things such as donkey kickbacks, strict step-ups, and reverse hyperextensions to fully develop their glute muscles. So what's the take-home message? Your individual biomechanics affect how you should select the best exercises to hit your peak. Seems complicated, right? Now this next bit is very exciting. Simply map the three main biomechanical booty variables. In the first video in the tutorial series, we answered the question, do you have stable hips? The second, we looked at the booty trilogy, keeping a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and know your hip type so you can choose the right stance for squats and deadlifts, and always remember to torque those hips. And in this video, we've seen how levers can affect your lifting and how to recruit your glutes. Now, put them all together and you can effectively train glutes, prevent injury, improve your main lifts, and get stronger. Easy peasy, right? Well, of course not. But I have made it easy for you. And here it is, the free BootyBot app, launching on Apple and Android. Simply download this app and go through the BootyBot to get your recommendations on how to build your booty specific to your biomechanics, covering all the topics we did in these last 3 tutorials. It will include the best choices for squats, deadlifts, bridges and thrusts, and accessories based on your body type and anatomy, and the do's and do nots in relation to your body type so you can build your optimal peak. And to finish it off, we would give you a sample program that you can try and implement for your glutes to try and get the most benefit out of the BootyBot. So check it out. It's very easy to use. It will take you about 1 minute and you will get a 6-page PDF individual report on how to optimize those booty gains. And if you like it, I highly encourage you to share it with everyone you know. It's truly free. We want to get some of this good information out there and start seeing those peaches flourish all across the world. This is the Peach Professor, and I'll see you for the next episode where we're going to delve into all new topics.